there we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nothing new. The Lakers lost again. LeBron dropped 50, not tonight. He dropped 50 the other night, of course, against the Washington Wizards. Tonight, the Lakers just lost 140 to 111 to the Phoenix Suns. LeBron dropped 31 points, and the trend is LeBron have an amazing game. They win, and then the next game they get blown out, but LeBron hits a milestone. So now that becomes the topic of discussion instead of the fact that they just lost by 1 billion points. They played Phoenix 3 times this year, this being the 3rd time. Phoenix led by like 32 in the first game, which was their first, well, not the first game, but the Suns' first win of the season was against the Lakers. They led by as many as 32. The second time they played them, they led by as many as 22, and then tonight they led by as much as 35. And we knew this was going to happen, right? We knew this was going to happen once the Lakers took the court against this team. It didn't matter if Ayton, Booker, and CP3 were out. The Suns were going to blow the Lakers out because that's the trend and that's what they do. The Lakers are not a good team. We know this. But I want to talk about, because what I took away from this game, I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, come playoff time, what team can hang with this Suns team? And it's not just because of what they did to the Lakers. It's just, this is how Phoenix has been playing in general this season. They're now 54 and 14. Yeah, 54 and 14. Tonight in this game, they shot 58 for 102 for 57%. And they had, how many assists? 36 team assists. This has been the trend with the Suns all season long. They are, like I said, 54 and 14. This team is just unbelievably good. This all started 2 summers ago in the bubble when they went undefeated. They didn't make the playoffs. They didn't get to the play-in tournament. That was the first year of the play-in tournament. The format then wasn't what it is now, but they didn't make the playoffs. But they did go 8-0 in the bubble when they looked good. And ever since that bubble, this is what the Phoenix Suns has consistently been. Last year, I think they had the 2nd best record in the West last year. This year, they're going to have the best record in all of the NBA. And the question is, and I don't usually listen with sound, but they asked the question, who can compete with the Suns? What team matches up better? And I'm just like, I don't see how the Phoenix Suns don't win a championship this year, barring a injury that we look at and go, okay, there's no way, or injuries where we say there's no way they could have overcame that. Barring that, I don't see how this team cannot win a championship because they are the complete package. They run plays. They play as a team. They can get you inside. Tonight, they had 76 points against the Lakers in the paint. And they can shoot. Devin Booker has improved. I think his 3-point shot is a lot better this year. He just completely folded down the stretch of that NBA Finals series against the Bucks, where they were up 2-0 and then lost the next 4. But in my prediction video, I said that it would be Suns versus Sixers in the finals. Brooklyn dude got me on the flip flop and switch on my East pick, but I'm gonna stick with it for now. I'm gonna do of course a separate video of playoff predictions once the playoffs officially start. I just gave you the re-report predictions a couple of weeks ago, but once we have the actual matchups, like we have March Madness, I'm gonna give you the actual playoff predictions for the postseason. But I don't see how the Suns team can't win a championship. Like I said, the chemistry is there. They have the greatest point guard of my time, of my era, my generation, and Chris Paul, a true floor general who can get a shot. He can get his own shot. That elbow shot is nothing to play with. He can sometimes, sneak up on you and just pull a 3. Of course, he's a great playmaker, a guy that For a long time, the big knock on him was not being able to get to the conference finals, and then he finally, led a team. He got to Houston and they went to the conference finals. He was injured in that game 7 4 years ago. And then he goes to Oklahoma City, and of course, they wasn't going to win a championship. They wasn't going to make a deep playoff run, but that seems to get overlooked for what Chris Paul was able to do there. The way he elevated that Oklahoma City Thunder team that one year he was there, getting them to the playoffs when everybody thought, including myself, thought they would be a lottery pick, and they were able to get to the playoffs and almost make it to the second round. Took Houston to Game 7. And then he goes to Phoenix, and last year they're in the finals, and this year they are just world beaters. So I don't see how this team cannot win a championship. I'm sticking with that pick. I don't care who comes out of the East. I got Phoenix beating whoever. It will be a little cause to pause if it's Milwaukee, because Milwaukee is no joke, and Milwaukee knows this team. Milwaukee was down 0-2 to this team and beat them down 4 straight games after that. So Milwaukee knows them. Milwaukee has gotten better defensively, and that's one team that'll give me cause to pause. But I think the Phoenix Suns are just, this record, of course, is not just a regular season aberration. This is the real deal. And this team is just they poised to just make it there. As far as like in the Western Conference, I don't think it'll be both. Of course, this, like I said, it's a prediction. I think a lot of people expectations are Warriors versus Suns in the conference finals. I don't think it'll be both teams. It'll be either Suns versus Grizzlies, which is my prediction, or Warriors versus Mavericks, or Mavericks versus Suns, or Warriors. It's not going to be Suns versus Warriors, if you ask me. It's going to be Suns or Warriors versus Mavericks or Grizzlies. But I had to sit through this game, and I just powered through it. I started watching this game against the Lakers. Like I said, I knew what was going to happen. I started watching this game. The Lakers was up 8-6, or they were down 6-8. I guess they scored the first 6 points of the game, and the Suns just took off from there, dropped 48 on them in the first quarter. Lakers outscored them by 3 in the second quarter, 34-31. Suns scored 40 in the third. Gosh, this team is terrible. But what else do we say here besides the Lakers suck? What else do we say here besides they were all talk? You know the whole tweet. Keeping that same energy. I keep talking about it because I ain't letting it go. Russell Westbrook can't shoot the ball, save his life. I don't know how Russell Westbrook has gotten so terrible. They didn't start playing well. They wasn't playing well last year in Washington. He and Bradley Beal, but mainly focusing on Russ. And then late in the season, they turned it on to make a push to get into the playoffs. But this Russell Westbrook is just an all-time bad, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens if he's not on the team next year, and if he has completely lost it. Just hoping to see, what he looked like on a different team. Because this is something I haven't talked about, but I can see the Lakers somehow, some way making us go, how did they pull that off? Getting Damian Lillard, and Russ ended up in Portland, and the Blazer fans completely rejecting it. I just don't see a place for Russell Westbrook in this league anymore. But it will be interesting to see how he bounced back after this season, because this is just a complete disaster for him and just the Lakers in general. Like, it was a wasted role effort for Carmelo Anthony, who has played the role we all expected him to play this year. A wasted role season for him. Whatever with LeBron, but just the team in general, man. It's sad. It's sad to see. But these Phoenix Suns, very, 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 very good team. No Chris Paul right now, and they are still winning because Chris Paul has came to this team and helped elevate them more, to give them that identity of what it's like to win, and they can carry that on even when he's retired. If this is his last stop, I'm not saying this is his last season, but if this is the last team he plays for, and just when he's out in general, they still know what it's like to play cohesive basketball. We've seen them without Devin Booker. They took the Bucks to the brink last weekend, I believe, and they just They played unbelievable ball. Had 119 points on the Lakers at the end of three. Finished the game with 140. The Lakers, after we were all watching two great games early in the day. You had the Celtics and the Mavericks. Before that, you had the Knicks and Nets. The Knicks are nothing to brag about, but it was still a really, really good game. And then the Lakers just puts a damper on everyone's evening by giving us what we expect them to give us. So, yeah, we're going to end it like that, though. But I do appreciate you guys. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. We got March Madness. If y'all are interested in doing a March Madness bracket challenge, be sure to email me at thejasonreedreport@gmail.com. The link of all of that, of my handles, social media, and email will be in the description. So let's try and get a March Madness bracket challenge going, a Reed Report bracket challenge. So be sure to email me. If we get enough entries, we'll do a tournament. And yeah, let's see what we do. All right.